Hello everyone. Chapter 8, Net Present Value and Other Investment Criteria. This chapter covers capital budgeting issues. What is the capital budgeting? Capital budgeting is the analysis of potential projects. When a firm chooses a project that they would invest, first of all, it must be consistent with the firm's strategy directions. Along with strategic directions, the project should generate positive firm value. Since the firm value is measured by your stock price, and the value of a stock is the present value of the future cash flows, we should analyze possible future cash flows to determine whether the project generates positive firm value. Capital budgeting involves long-term investment decisions such as acquiring fixed assets, moving locations, launching new products, and so on. Therefore, it requires very large expenditures, which may be hard to reverse. To make capital budgeting decision, there are several measures that people use. How can you determine which measure is better than the other? There are 5 criteria that we need to consider. First, all relevant cash flows should be included in the analysis. If there are some missing cash flows, it is not the best measure to evaluate the project. Second, time value of money should be considered. We know that cash flows of different timing cannot directly compared. Third, risk should be adjusted. Since an investor required higher required rate of returns for the riskier projects, the analysis should include the factor that can reflect the level of the risk of the project. Fourth, the best measure should be able to rank multiple projects. A firm usually has to make a decision to choose some best projects among multiple ones because of limited resources. To make it possible, ability to rank projects is essential criterion. Lastly, fifth criterion is dollar amount of added value to the firm from the project should be directly indicated. It means that we should be able to know how much values are going to be added if we decide to do these projects. From now on, we will learn 4 different measures and see if each measure meets these 5 criteria. The first measure we will see is payback period. Payback periods show how long it takes to recover the initial cost of projects. Let's see an example. Suppose a project generates a cash flow as shown in table. Its initial cost is $30,000. How long is the payback period for this project? To compute the payback period, the first step is to compute cumulative cash flows. First year cumulative cash flow is negative 30,000 plus 8,000 first year cash flow, negative $22,000. Second year, negative 22,000 plus $10,000, negative $12,000. Year 3, negative 12,000 plus $11,000, negative $1,000. In year 4, $17,000 cash flow is generated, but only $1,000 is needed to recover initial cost. So sometime during year 4 will be the time when all initial cost is recovered. We can here simply assume that cash flow is equally generated throughout the year. So it takes 1,000, the cash flow needed to be generated to recover the initial cost, divided by 17,000, fourth year cash flow, 0.06 years if we round up to two decimal places. Therefore, the payback period is 3 years plus 0.06, which is 3.06 years. If a project allows 3-year limit for the payback period, what is your decision? So decision rule of payback period is accept if the payback period is less than some preset limit. Since 3 years is the preset limit here, we reject this project because it takes longer than the limit. So there's Excel spreadsheet, double-click Excel icon, and spreadsheet will be popped up. Although no Excel function exists to calculate payback period, you can use manual function to find it. Find cumulative cash flow previous year. So here, cumulative cash flow equals to previous cumulative cash flow plus current year cash flow. In this case, the first year cumulative cash flow is simply the initial cash flows. And then you copy it to the end. Number of negative cumulative cash flow is the year of payback period. And now find, so 1, 2, 3, plus fractional year adding to negative cumulative cash flows. So fraction is negative cumulative cash flow because we need absolute value divided by fourth year cash flow. Then we have 3.06 years. If our payback period is less than the preset limit, then we accept. Otherwise, we reject. So from the decision rule, we reject it. Same result that we saw in the manual calculation. Now let's see if payback period satisfies good decision criteria. Does it consider cash flow? All cash flow, I mean? The answer is no. In our example, fifth year cash flow does not affect to calculate payback period at all. Since payback period only shows break-even point, cash flows after payback period do not have any impact on change in payback period. Second, how about time value of money? Again, no, because we simply use nominal cash flows and did not adjust at all using time value of money technique. Does it adjust for risk? Is there any risk factor? I say no. Suppose we have two projects that generate exact same cash flows with different level of the risk. Clearly, both must have same payback periods. Risk has no impact. Can payback period rank multiple projects? We can rank by the order of the number of years. Although we are not sure that shorter payback period is always better, at least we can rank them using payback period. No, 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 say yes. Final question, does it show how much dollar a project will add to the firm? We can easily answer, no. Therefore, payback rule is not a very good measure to make a capital budgeting decision. But why do people use it? The biggest advantage is easiness to use. It is useful for a quick decision for a small project and for small business owners who do not have professional background knowledge in finance. Pop quiz. Find payback periods of the following cash flow. Note that initial cost is $165,000. Find it. To find payback period, you should calculate cumulative cash flows. First year, negative 165,000 plus 63,120, negative 101,880. Second year, negative 101,880 plus 70,800, negative 31,080. Third year, cash flow 91,080 is greater than the amount of cash flow which needs to be recovered, $31,080. Therefore, payback period is 2 years plus year 2 cumulative cash flow, absolute value, 31,080 divided by year 3 cash flow, 91,080, which is 2.34 years. As we found, payback period has many disadvantages. In the next part, we will see better measures. See you there.